times did it go out?
No, what caused it?
They didn't say, but they had it backed up in like a half hour,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it was fast.
We're repairing one of the main lines.
Or-
That's that light blinking. I'm like, there's a taser pointing at us right here.
Actually, can I have my phone for anything? No, I don't. This is the minutes of last time.
We're a good day for him, yeah.
Just hear
Okay. I can tell.
Me too.
I said, I want all these clothes. She said, it's too many for her. I said, let me look after them. What made me think that?
Alright. It is 5:30. It is 5:30. Mayor Jerry Albin called to order our special board meeting, 5:30, May 11th, 2026. Amy, would you mind saying or opening prayer?
I like to defer to Keith Brumfield if that's
do that. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day you've given to us. It's been a great day. Lord, we thank you so much for who you are. Most importantly, we thank you for sending your Son to die for us on the cross. And Lord, we thank you that you guide us and direct us, and that you help us in every area and every direction. Father, I pray tonight that you would be with this special meeting. I pray that you would just help us to follow your leadership and your guidance through the Holy Spirit. Lord, that everything that's done here will be done according to what you want done. And Lord, that you would just cease anything that wishes to be done that's not according to what you want. And we just give you the praise, the honor, and the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here.
Kemper,
Here.
Alderman Parker,
Here.
Mayor,
Here.
Alderman Preston.
Now I know what it was, Amy. You did the resignation letter. You didn't attach it here, did you? I'll go find it in my email, but I did not see it attached. Is that right?
I did not.
All right.
Thank you.
Careful. Well, the one beside it, 'cause it rolls.
I know. I'm a dangerous man. I didn't know help.
You're sweet, those golf clubs.
I'm not. Anybody that's on.
They just sent it to you.
Whoops, I keep forgetting this one doesn't have touchscreen. I got it. All right, the purpose of this meeting tonight is, of the special meeting part is, for the resignation of an alderman and filling the vacancy. Says, "Dear Mary Albin, regretfully I must resign effective immediately from the Board of Aldermen. My employment situation has changed and I will be working during all of the scheduled meetings for the foreseeable future. I wish the best for you and the board and hope that the positive changes that have been on the horizon can continue and make our city the best it can be for all of the citizens. On a personal note, if the changes I feel will occur following my resignation, please know that I will campaign tirelessly for recall election of multiple members of the Alderman Board who have clearly demonstrated a willful ignoring of the desires of the people of our community. Sincerely, Darrell Foster, 502 West Market Street, Diamond, Missouri, 64840. That puts us at 3 out of 4 aldermen, and in accordance with Diamond City Code and Ordinance, if a vacancy occurs in any elective office, the mayor of the person exercising the duties of the mayor shall cause, meaning they must cause a special meeting of the Board of Aldermen to convene, where a successor to the vacant office shall be selected by appointment by the mayor with the advice and consent of a majority of the remaining members of the Board of Aldermen. And then it goes on to talk about if the vacancy is the mayor's position. Did I skip one? Oh, approval of the agenda. I apologize. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda.
I make the motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Dayton second. I apologize for jumping. I almost always jump that one. And then all in favor? Yes. All right, so continuing with that part, when I looked at the results from the previous election, of course, we know, Darrell Foster was first with 33, Janet Grube was next with 27, and then Mr. Suits, was next with 20. So, in following the pattern from the past, I was going to nominate Janet Grube, who was the second, in voting, to fulfill that position.
I make a motion to approve Janet Grube for West Ward Alderman.
Do I have a second? So,
May I ask
Just-
why? If she was qualified to run.
We're not disputing that she's qualified.
What?
I said, we're not disputing that she's qualified,
Well, why are you not?
because I believe there's a better individual suited for the job.
So then why didn't they run?
They
they
did.
did, but they got,
But
they
they
got,
didn't get voted in.
The
No,
people,
neither did
the
she.
People didn't
people
vote
vote.
for him. Let them talk first.
it's.
You don't go in succession, okay? You don't do that. I
That's
mean, you
what-
can,
that's what you
but
did
you
with Miss
don't.
Howard.
We did it before, yes, I agree. But you don't have to every time. That doesn't mean that you have to every time. Our code is very specific on what needs to be done.
Yeah, the mayor
And we want to do
nominated-
things legal, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yep, I agree.
I've been,
Exactly
been
what you're
trying,
supposed to do.
been trying to do it peaceable and legal, but, since it's an elected position, I felt like if the people voted enough for her to be the second in voting, that's,
That means that you've thrown away all the votes for Darrell.
So did you
They
do
have no
that
say in
before?
this,
okay, so
Did you do that
So I'm
before?
not gonna agree with it,
Yeah,
okay?
we
So-
she,
Yeah.
she lost first place by fewer votes than she beat third place.
I'm not disputing that. So you have no second.
So you're telling me that the people's opinion doesn't matter?
No, that's not
Exactly
what I
what
said
you're
at all.
saying.
That's not what I said at all.
So what, might as well.
What makes him
I'm
better
entitled
than
to my
her?
Hey, guys.
opinion, is what I'm telling you.
There-
Okay.
And we're really not supposed to have the
Discussion.
discussion. It's, and I understand the frustration, because right now I'm very frustrated, because I've been trying to get this taken care of so that it didn't have to be taken care of last minute tonight.
Then I make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second on that? So what's your discussion?
I would like to make a motion that we suspend Article 115.070 for its appointment only.
No.
I mean, no, it's not an option, it's a no. We made a
You
motion.
can't suspend
Yes, we can.
an ordinance, you're
Yes.
gonna suspend an ordinance.
Yes, we can.
That ordinance number was.
It's 115.070, the ordinance ordinance asking that the mayor, so you're wanting to run with a three-person board from here on?
No, it's not, no, let him finish.
No, no, I would like to make the motion that we suspend the 115.07 for this appointment only, or for this, suspend this article 115.07 for its appointment only, for this appointment only, for this office right now.
I second the motion.
Of course you do.
Oh, yeah.
Mayor?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Now, you,
What about those against?
those opposed? You know,
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. I'd make a motion that we consider and appoint James Suits to fulfill the West Woodward vacancy. The term of office shall be until the next general election.
That's terrible.
excuse me, gentlemen,
You know, second.
Oh, my God.
just a minute.
You're unbelievable.
I understand all of your procedure. I understand you didn't like the fact that you lost the majority on the board. And the people tried to vote and make the board even so that we could, try to work together to get some things done. And I've tried and tried to work with all of you guys, but you're almost pushing me to the point that I wanna resign in this moment.
That's what they want you to do.
And I know that's what they want to happen,
So please
but
don't do that.
the way that you've orchestrated this is a clear statement to them that you could care less what they think.
Not at all.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes,
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 it
it
is.
is.
110%.
Absolutely.
We're doing everything legally. And
No,
that's what
you're doing legally because you have control of the board, but if it was the other way around, if it was the other way around, you would be arguing against it.
What if, you know?
It's not
Well, you
what
have,
if,
you have a
it's
motion
a-
and you have it seconded, Jerry, we need to deal with that.
Can you not vote with the people here?
I second the motion.
And we've already voted, so.
You voted on the first one
Yeah.
to suspend it. So are we suspending or are we making a motion to continue?
We did suspend it already, we voted
Then
on
you
that.
can't revote and
We did
do it.
suspend it already.
But now they
I know,
want
but
They
now
want it
you're
on,
trying
they
to
wanna
make
make
a
the motion
nomination
to-
after suspending it.
We,
And
no,
you
we
can't do
suspended
that.
that, yes, it is totally legal, okay? We suspended that one code, and that allows us to make a motion, is what it does.
But
So
And
that's
we
not
did
how it
that,
works.
and I seconded it. So now we need to vote on that, whether James is going to be
So again, you're taking what is in our ordinance and you're choosing to play with the law
I'm not playing with the law, I am
So that-
abiding by the law.
so that you can suspend it long enough to get past the appointment part that the mayor's supposed to do.
Yeah, you
So that,
understand
so that you can.
We need a city attorney to do this.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, because
No, there's a motion on the floor and a second. We need to vote.
Well,
But you
We-
changed it
Whoever you want
before.
after that, that's
well,
fine.
yeah, because
But
that's what
you
they
have a
want.
motion on the floor and a second.
Right? Right?
What would happen if it was against you guys?
Yeah, exactly.
They would throw a fit,
If the shoe's
Oh,
on the
Or
other
they would
foot.
leave, so you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
vote.
which is how this is all
Jerry, you need to
happening right
control
now.
this, this is part of your job. You need to
I'll
control.
control my own stuff. You can
His
keep
job
your
was to
mouth
appoint
shut.
somebody and you wanna knock that down.
No, just a minute.
We have to
Everybody,
make sure it's
everybody
legal.
stop.
Wait, the mayor's trying to speak, so let's give him respect.
Everybody, stop. Okay, this board is supposed to be a four-member board
Right.
that was elected by the people.
Right.
The people did their election. The person that took first unfortunately had to resign. The person who took second, you refuse
Right.
to accept, even though she was qualified to run and she got the more votes.
So
Also
when our
that you-
president,
also that
gets out
you
of
can
office,
put-
you don't go to the person that got second.
You go to the
Yeah.
vice
Actually,
president.
you do.
But
Yeah,
when
you do.
Yes, but that, I'm talking about who ran against him, you don't do that.
when
We're,
we-
all we're doing is following the legal,
But you didn't
When,
before,
when
when
they,
it
when
didn't
you
suit
do a
you.
representative and somebody goes out of office, they put an appointment
they
in
can
there
do
or
whatever,
run another
their
election.
guidelines are. I'm going by our guidelines.
No, you're not, you
Yes, I am.
you bypassed our
It's
guidelines so that you
legit
can
and
do it.
legal.
Okay, hold on, if we're gonna get legal, I'm just saying for to protect you guys as well. We don't have that, that's a Missouri, that's not a city of diamonds, you're gonna have to wait.
No,
until
it's
we
a,
figure-
it's the city of Diamond.
I'm trying to
You
verify
said
that
one
right now.
fifteen point
We could
oh seven?
Well,
That's,
it's-
115.07 is the one where the mayor makes the appointment.
110-290 is the one that allows us to do this.
They're taking away from the mayor.
They
We understand that, but
I just
none
need
of
to
us are
know
able to
what
find
it
this
is, yeah.
ordinance, right?
What does 110-290 actually say, Dave?
Well, I don't have it in front of me, you know.
Oh,
well,
No, I'm
maybe
not
you
gonna
should have
pull
thought
it up.
about
We
it.
got a copy right here.
I can
We can give you a copy of it even.
Amendment of
Make a copy here.
Okay.
Any rules of four?
There is. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do.
Mayor, do you want me to read it?
No, I got it right here. Any rule of the board may be repealed or altered or amended by a majority vote of the members. Every amendment offered shall lie on the table until the next
That's not what
meeting.
we're doing. Keep reading.
Until the next meeting of the board before being voted upon, except by the unanimous consent of the
Keep
elected
reading. That's
members
not what we're doing.
of the Board of Aldermen. Any rule may be suspended by a
There you go.
majority vote of the members of the board or quorum
There you go.
being present by unanimous
No,
consent.
that's,
I read it
there's
verbatim.
a comma there and an or.
No, no, no,
Oh, yes,
no.
there is.
No, good grief.
Any rule may be suspended by majority vote of the members of the board or quorum being present by
Or. Or,
unanimous.
that means either or.
No, 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 no,
Yeah, it
no,
No,
no.
does.
no,
That's
no.
what the state has told us.
You're not paying attention.
I am paying attention.
No, you're trying to get what you want.
I am, yeah, and that's what we're gonna have.
Yeah,
Right
thanks for
No,
agreeing
we're
with
not.
that,
now,
because-
you have a motion on the floor and you have a second.
I had a
You need to
motion
deal with
before that to adjourn the meeting, but you didn't wanna do
Right,
that,
so the
so.
meeting goes on.
Well, then it's gonna go on without me entertaining your motion.
That's not legal either, Jerry.
Actually, it is,
No,
because
it's
you're
not.
not following the word for word verbatim. It
I
has to
am.
be unanimous.
No, you're trying to get by what you want to
No,
whenever.
we are doing legally what we are entitled to do.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
It says by,
Says by unanimous.
He knows what it says. He just wants to
The
turn
order
it around,
before
twist
the
it,
unanimous.
say what he wants.
Mr. Suits. I wanted to tell you I appreciated your service, but I can't believe you want to be a part of this.
Wow. It is garbage. You're a better man than that.
I thought so.
So is Dayton.
It's-
I've known Dayton for a long time. He's a better man
So
than
we're gonna
that.
talk about people's character, aren't we? Why don't we just shut up and let everybody speak?
You
We're
are not.
supposed to be quiet.
So, everybody do, please be quiet, but, the way this is taking place is an abuse of.
Not an abuse, Jerry.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. We have a motion that's been seconded, and it needs to be
But the whole
voted on.
process you used was an abuse of the
No, it's not.
temporary power that you had because you
And our code
found,
gives us that power.
because you found that you were in the majority for the moment and refused to follow the will of the people. Don't anybody else say anything, please. You refuse to follow the will of the people so that you can make things happen the way you want to again. And that is completely against the desires of the people of the West Ward.
No, I don't think so.
Well, you say that, but the will of the people on that side, man, there wasn't all that many people that actually voted on that side anyway. itself, there was only 80 people total.
Doesn't
But,
matter if
you
it
know,
was
that's-
five.
That was all that voted
That's
for
more
me.
than voted before.
Yeah.
Would you-
But-
Mayor, we have a motion on the floor and a second.
Or quorum being present by unanimous consent. It doesn't matter, I read the whole thing out right here. There's two parts to that sentence, so just go right back over there, that's what I was reading out loud. And the people voted in 2025, there were only 58 that voted. There were
Mayor, we have a
more.
motion on the floor and a second, and I'd like to
Do
proceed.
you not wanna hear the truth?
He doesn't
You're
care.
supposed to deal with this before you do anything else. That's the.
I dealt with it,
order of things.
I'm not listening at the moment. I'm trying to tell you, he said there weren't that many people that voted, there were 80-some that voted. There were only 58 voted the last time, for the
Yeah.
West Ward.
Yeah, and that's because we didn't have the school stuff, the 4-day.
Oh, so,
Yeah, we did.
We weren't voting on
Just
a
wasn't
4-day
allowed.
week.
On school,
But-
voted for it through the school.
but this time we had more people vote,
Well,
but
yeah,
it's still not enough.
because people wanted the 4-day week for school.
But they didn't have to vote for the alderman if they didn't want to.
We're way off topic, and we have a motion on the floor and a second. It needs to be dealt with.
At the moment, your clerk's trying to make sure it's legal, like literally, here's the issue. I'm not trying to be rude, I'm trying to
No.
protect everybody.
Mayor,
Like, I'm not trying to be rude at all. Yes, ma'am. This is one of the clerks that's been on 20 years. She doesn't know the answer, I don't know the answer.
There's
Leave a
a
message in
state
the void.
statute, 79-280, that says if a vacancy occurs in an elected office, the mayor or the person exercising the duties of the mayor shall cause a special meeting of the Board of Aldermen to convene, where a successor to the vacant office shall be selected by appointments by the mayor with the advice and consent of a majority of the remaining members of the Board of Aldermen.
Which is,
Exactly like ours.
If the vacancy is in the office of the mayor, then the board can then do it.
Well, I understand that. We did that once before.
but what he pulled was the trying to suspend the mayor's appointment part so that he
Which
can do
would be
this.
okay, but you can't suspend a state statute.
Right.
You can only suspend your own. You
Yes,
can't.
and-
Mayor, you have a motion on the floor and a second.
Oh, my
We have a legal advice, and I'm not gonna,
She's
I'm
not a
not,
legal advisor to us, no.
No, Todd is though.
She works for the city.
but
For
not
this
our
city?
city.
She doesn't work
You
for
have to
this
work
city.
for our city.
No,
What about her? They don't know who you are, sorry.
no.
She runs our whole water system. We do pay her to work for us.
She doesn't, she's not our advisor, and this didn't come from our advisor, it came from state. It said that this is,
Okay, actually, but your advisor's on the phone with a lawyer right now trying to make sure you two are protected. That's why we said hold on a minute. Not being rude at all.
Give them a roll.
the state told you?
Our representative Jill Aldridge, and, that's who we.
So, not a lawyer,
Maybe you are.
not for the city of Diamond.
Say, yeah, say you do.
Are you okay if I step away?
Yeah.
I'm just quiet.
I think he's in court,
No, he's actually been talking to me.
and that's why he's not answering mine. So if you're talking to him,
All the board members can.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, everyone's quiet now. So our section 110, can I put you on speaker, Todd? So, okay, so section 110.290, amendment or suspension of rules. We are down one alderman. We had an alderman in West Ward who had resigned, and we are trying to fill that spot. And it was nominated for the second runner-up to take that seat. A motion was made for that, but there was no second, so it was dead. Now, we had a motion to,
well, first, they
No, that's not.
chose to suspend.
that's what I'm getting to. That's what I'm getting to. Now they made a motion and seconded it to suspend the
appointment part of
appointment part
115.
of 115.
Excuse me. Find the email. Yeah, 115.070, they were trying to suspend the appointment part.
They're trying to suspend the appointment part for 115.070. Right, 070.
Sorry.
070.
For your request.
Okay. No, you're fine. But we also have section 110.290. Any rule of the board may be repealed, altered, or amended by the majority vote of members. Every amendment offered shall lie on the table until the next meeting of the board before being voted upon, except by unanimous consent of all the elected members of the Board of Aldermen, including the mayor. Any rule may be suspended by the majority vote of the Board of Aldermen, and then there's a comma there, that's what they're arguing about, or quorum being present by unanimous consent. So we have two aldermen saying no. It says a majority of the vote of members of the board that can be, because there's a comma. And then we have mayor saying no, it has to be unanimous. That's where we're at. He's looking. Thank you. You're gonna call me back.
I don't want to have a special election for him. See, in the past, it was brought up, if you look in the minutes, I think it was David brought it up that his vote should be when Mike had to step down.
79,280. All right, so
Have you did it before?
What is this now?
We're just here.
79,
That's right.
Here, the board can only adopt procedures to fill vacancies.
The last 2 years.
I'm not forgetting my quail today.
That's number two.
You want to what?
I got it ready.
It was signed after 93, and my house was put in there.
79,280.
I don't know if you're, he said we'll have the mayor and the attorney. It's even, good.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
I'm gonna forward this to you.
Who's it from? Which way are you forwarding it?
Text. He texted.
just has the wrong number, 'cause I keep getting them. I think I'm getting the office instead.
Hammerhead, you lose 10 pounds, and
What's
you're
that?
not, Hammerhead's 10 pounds, I said they're ready to lose 10. Better one of those spinning cameras. Spinning camera.
Oh,
Since we're waiting,
this is, yeah.
I didn't get that email.
No, I didn't buy any more out either, so. It's really cool font though.
I changed it every
Oh
month.
yeah, it was really cool this
Yeah,
month.
because we didn't know when it's the first one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, as you know, that's what I'm trying to do.
You wanna sit on my lap?
All right. I'm gonna put him on my shoulders, carry him around.
They want it to be done by them.
We can stack you and Keith together and make one normal sized person.
The reason why it's statement.
So in other words, they're suspending 115.070 where the mayor makes the appointment. Correct. And then they're using that to bypass me so that they can nominate who they want, yes. All right. All right, thank you. He's gonna look at it again, call back.
I have a question. Do any of you mind if I take a photo?
Not at all.
You're fine.
Doesn't make me look at it 10 pounds.
I mind. No, we have to be in the
If it does, I take
bin.
all the pictures in the
One
house.
party consent law.
Go outside and say hi. Remind somebody if you don't wanna be.
Or one party consent station, you need to ask. She was being courteous. Exactly.
You know I'm not wrong on that one. Not good.
Yeah, you did. That's what I was told when
I'm so confused.
I joined the club, because it's not done the way it's supposed to be done, it's done the way they've been wanting it done for years. They just got some people to stand up. Don't worry about it.
Well, they're voting for somebody on the west side, correct? Or that was the motion? The motion was to vote for a new person on the west side.
No, just to go with who got the second place, because Daryl had to resign.
But they,
Now the next person.
so it
on
doesn't
the got
matter
the
if there's
most
2 and
votes.
2, it
Was
just
Jan
matters
Creed.
the 4 people.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where they're located. They
Oh,
just,
it matters.
it does matter.
It matters.
So we need 2 east and 2 west. I'm just trying to catch up on what the hell's actually going on.
There we go.
Well, it doesn't tell me what side they're on, if they're on the east side or the west side, on their placards, so I just was,
Mr. Wicker and the open spot are the west side and Amy and James are the
clarify, no other thing can happen until this is resolved. No information, anything else.
I either have to go the next step with this, cause I'm trying to find out from the attorney what to do, but,
They're trying to set a motion and they can't move forward until they figure out like exactly.
Why? You're trying to cancel the duplicate law because it's a
they've,
state law.
they've got a motion and a second
So them
for the
suspending it
person
doesn't
they
do
want
anything
to
for them.
take
It
the
just
spot.
removes the redundancy.
Wanted to
But they think
suspend
they're
my
being
part
slick.
about
They think they're
appointing
being
the
smart.
person, so they
They
can,
think they're gonna.
So they have
intimidate.
somebody they want to put in, and you need to appoint somebody to put in.
if they are able to do the suspension part, that means they get to do the
Voting of
nominating,
the per-
they get
okay.
to
They
nominate
get to person it.
instead of my appointment.
Okay.
so.
Thank you.
Way to work this.
We already voted on that, right? No. Oh. Rusty loves me. I'm gonna have you sign another paper. I'll notarize it. I do a real good job.
Yes, you do. Getting in trouble.
ordinances and looking at spirit and intention of basic writing of ordinances, when you look at that in case law and other things in my brief research here, need to follow it up. When the language is included of or quorum being present, if there is a quorum present currently, then it must be by unanimous vote for that to occur. If there were not if it were in some other purpose and it was just a majority, that's the way it reads to me in the plain reading issues.
Todd, I disagree with you. We have a motion on the floor and a second, and that needs to be dealt with.
No, no.
Not if the attorney is against it.
The attorney's not the deciding factor, the board is the deciding factor. Yes, it is.
No.
Todd, am I wrong?
All I'm adding is that by the reading of the ordinances, in order to suspend under 110-290, because a quorum is present, it would need to be by unanimous decision or the
Which means we
suspension doesn't
never
occur.
make it to your motion because
No, I disagree.
Disagree?
It's the law.
I disagree, Todd, I'm sorry.
Well, you can disagree with me, that's fine. I'm telling you what my recommendation is.
Okay, that's a
In my
recommendation.
reading of the law and my understanding of what the ordinances say.
Wow.
Right, and we have a motion on the floor and a second, so what's he supposed to
That's
do with
not
that?
unanimous.
your motion isn't there if you don't
Yeah, it
get
is.
the first one.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Because you
No.
suspended the appointment part so that you could make your
Yes,
motion, and he's
exactly.
saying that part's not,
You're saying we
legally
cannot
binding.
suspend it?
In order to suspend any rule, if there's a quorum present, the way it reads, then it needs to be by unanimous vote.
Short answer, 2 letters, no.
which means if that's the case, then by law, you're not supposed to suspend, which means we can't get to your motion and the second.
I guess that's where we're at tonight then.
Yep.
So do you have another appointee that you wanna nominate?
Yeah, Janet Group.
Jenna Group.
You can't do that.
He's the mayor.
Is Todd still on?
They still on.
Well,
I'm here.
she's already been determined by the board that she is not, selected for the position after he nominated her.
But was, no.
It was never determined, it was just not
Well, we
seconded.
voted, no.
No, you voted.
Nobody voted.
You
Oh,
didn't
well,
vote.
okay,
voted.
You're right.
You never
you're right.
seconded.
There was no second, so it's a dead issue.
But it's still an appointment.
By the mayor.
Can I ask a question?
Who has the right?
Stupid question. For the last 10 years, the second runner-up,
No, he's.
the second runner-up has been the appointed one, whether it was for
We've
the
already been-
mayor.
We've already been discussing.
Okay, well, let's discuss
Mayor?
it again, because you're
Mayor,
refusing to
please
discuss
maintain
it.
control.
Excuse
Would
me?
you stop? Would you stop?
No.
Tell me
Oh,
what
but
to
where I
do.
think you have an
Listen,
issue.
hold on,
not.
hey, hold on, please, just a minute. You have constantly, in the time I've been here, tried to act like you're the authority over me.
The board is the authority.
No, you're not.
Yes, it is.
No,
No.
here's how government works, so that you have an idea. I'm elected separate from the board,
You are, yes,
and on board nights,
yeah,
I'm a part of the board, I just don't vote unless there's a tie.
right, right, we
Okay,
understand that.
which means in that case, you are only 20% of any kind of power at all.
I still disagree with our attorney's opinion, and well, I'll pursue that further.
Are we able to move forward tonight? Is a real question we need to ask
So,
ourselves.
At this time.
they refuse to accept the, motion for adjournment as well. So, how do we get out of this? They would, there was a motion also made for adjournment whenever they didn't accept the nomination, now they're not accepting my nomination again.
You, pursuant to the ordinance, you have the ability to appoint. Unless that's suspended, that is what needs to be followed, and it can't be suspended by when there's a quorum present unless it's unanimous.
But it has to be approved by the board.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
Yes, it has to be approved by the board.
you, and I understand that's where we are.
Yes,
Otherwise, then it would just be to vote on that person.
yes.
So do we appoint another person?
So unless there's, can suspend the meeting until someone else can be, possibly, as an appointment, I don't know. I don't know who those persons are.
The people voted, the original person resigned.
Correct.
Second runner-up over the last 10 years is usually the one who is appointed. And actually, the people did vote for that person, only missed it by what, 6, 8 votes?
6 votes.
6 votes. The previous person was already on the board. They did not get enough votes. And that's the person that they want to put back on the board.
So is there a way to, how do I legally,
Yeah, hang on just a second. I'm gonna dive back into these statutes or ordinances, sorry, for just a second. I'll call you back.
all right, thanks.
We see them all. We see them all, don't worry.
Everything else that isn't getting.
Mine are in the car.
I got mine. You got me join me?
Yeah. Come on in, Todd. I don't want to miss none.
Yeah, that's the opposite.
How often is this alderman vote done?
Well, whoever gets appointed, whenever it happens,
Mm-hmm.
they will just go until, excuse me, till the next election, which means they would be next April.
And then the people that are currently there, is that something that we get to vote off as well, or is that something that just happens later?
At the next election, Mr. Kemper and Mr. Wicker will be up for election, and whoever replaces this
Okay.
spot, so there'll be 3
In
seats
April of next year?
in April.
Okay, thank you. Is it only people in the city limits that vote, or is it anybody in Diamond?
And,
Okay.
and you have to be, you can only vote for the ones in the ward that you happen to
right.
live in.
Mhm.
We've got some people that are wanting to build houses, if anybody's wanting to move in city limits.
I think I'll refrain after this fun moment I'm enjoying. But thank you. I mean, I live in Diamond, I just don't live in the
Yeah.
city limits.
All right. Territory under
I live right where it says population,
Oh, wow.
903. But not within the city.
Hey, can I ask you a question while we're waiting on this? When you guys did the annexation to move the, out toward the Sailborn area?
I wasn't here then.
Oh, you weren't here?
Ron might have been here, I don't know if he was here.
The only reason I was asking is because we've had a request to annex further out to the restaurant because they want to be in city limits and use city water. And I didn't know, was there a reason that you guys, or whoever stopped?
That's probably where the water line ends, I imagine, is the only reason I think of.
Well, I think Nick said, I don't remember who said that, they annexed to that part to keep the chicken ordinance or something coming in or something like that, that's what I heard.
And I knew they wanted it so that our patrolman could, also
Yeah.
not have to wait on state if they had somebody on the field.
No, it's already in this now. Well, there's
But
somebody else bought
the
it.
people that are thinking about buying it or wanting to be in the city limits.
Might be great.
No,
I just-
I don't know exactly where that ends at, so.
Yeah, and,
Talking about the old Banana Cafe?
I know
Yeah.
the city limit sign ends at the,
Greenhouse.
just before the greenhouse,
Yep.
but, and then I think just past that would be where the diamond, so we would have to do highway and then around their property again. But if they buy it, I think that would be a voluntary annexation.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be a problem at all, you know, getting the state to buy off on it would be.
Yes,
But,
that's-
you know, as long as we're just doing the right of way when we're dealing with them, it shouldn't be a problem, just like when we're going out west. Our main reason should be for the water line. For the secondary, to accommodate, you know, new development.
Mayor,
That's somebody gonna open back up the second gas station. I think we have somebody wants to open back up the second gas station.
Mayor, were you guys asking about the reasons for the annexation?
Yeah, was there a reason they
I
stopped?
was actually
where
here
they-
when we did that.
Was there a reason they stopped where they stopped?
The only reason they stopped there is because the council at the time did not want to go all the way up to 32nd Street. And there wasn't any chicken houses at the time. They just wanted to annex up that direction, and we stopped at Aspen to keep Joplin pushed back a little bit. So if anything came in, we could actually be able to claim it in the city of Diamond.
How far does our water line go that way? Where's it actually end at?
Aspen.
Aspen?
Well, actually, the greenhouse on the other side of Aspen actually uses our water, I believe, for at least part of their stuff, so.
I'm sorry, that is correct.
So, but I don't know about any of the other places. Nick, do you know out that way, does the water line stop at the greenhouse?
It travels east and west about a third of a mile, but as far as going north, it stops at Aspen Road, yes.
So they're the only ones, which means we could see if they wanted to be annexed into. I just wanted to see if you knew so that I know where to go to.
If they touch, if the greenhouse wanted to be in the city limits and they touch, they can voluntarily annex in, it's a simple deal. And then the neighboring property could also follow suit. If the greenhouse doesn't want to be in, then it's a little more complicated.
So if the greenhouse agrees, do you have to do anything by law or is it just?
I think you have to post it just for that specific residence. That's what Billy had to do out here, is because he touched the highway. He had to come to the board had to approve it, and then once that was signed, it was a done deal.
And then who do you report that to?
You report that to the recorder at the county.
The socializer, to kill time.
No, we've got
Styling question.
probably about 4 mile buffer. Well, that's kind of why they wanted to put the line in the sand.
Assuming that's because of the basis too.
Okay, I wanted your,
Put you on speakerphone again.
Okay.
Yes.
Speakerphone.
He's on phone now.
All right, go right ahead.
Looking at 115.070 again, which is the exact same language as 79.280 RSMO, which is the Missouri statute, it tracks it word for word. There are certain maxims within statutory interpretation, and when there is a shall, it means that it's mandatory. So there is no discretion in that. It's not to be stymied, it's not to be put to some way that it stops it. So the language of 79.280 as well as 115.070 says that the mayor shall appoint someone with the advice and consent of the remaining board members. So I don't know that it has to be by motion when it says that. I think it is the mayor's appointee and is then voted upon, and that is who fills the vacancy according to the shall language that appears both in the Missouri statute as well as the Diamond City ordinance.
What do you do if they won't, well, what do you do on the vote thing then? Is,
There's not a vote.
like, on the appointment, does that mean I just make the appointment, or does that mean make the appointment and then call for a vote, or what do we do?
You make the appointment and then call for a vote, because it says you are to fill the vacancy by appointment, meaning by you. You do that with the advice and consent of the remaining board members.
Okay, and then what do we do if they don't accept that person and,
If that person is not approved, I still think it is yours. It is not for the board to propose someone, because the language says the mayor shall.
okay, so we would be hung until,
Correct. You would have to suspend the meeting or do something else until a new person that can be done by consent is put in there,
all right,
with the consent of your appointment, okay?
all right, thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Take care.
Halfway and Janet Group. You guys have to vote.
Yay.
Yay.
No.
And this meeting is suspended until later.
Do we need to take a motion to suspend it and everything, or?
Yes.
Now, try to adjourn.
It's not adjourned, so it's just suspended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it? Nothing more tonight?
I think there needs to be a motion to suspend it until a certain time date, whatever, is the way that it's supposed to be done. So,
I think we're supposed to meet daily and how.
well, that depends on how you word the adjournment. There's three different ways to adjourn. One is to adjourn and be done with the issue, which we're not. The other one is to adjourn and at that time set, or to adjourn and it will be rescheduled.
How about we call a special election? We can vote on that, can't we?
That requires a lot more stuff.
And the mayor can come back and appoint a different individual, you know?
Yeah, it's suspended for a later date.
I would like to, can you guys please be quiet? I've already got a headache, and I'm about done for today. I will entertain a motion to suspend until next Monday.
I make the motion to suspend until next Monday.
To adjourn until next Monday.
No, you can't adjourn.
Yeah, you can
No.
adjourn until next Monday. Yeah, that's the way it is in the Robert's rule.
No,
So what do you need to read it?
It says suspend.
Well, either way, I'll second.
Same difference, I mean, same difference.
Suspension's not an adjournment.
Suspend until next Monday. And, all in favor?
Aye.
And
Suspending, it's suspended, it's not suspended, so this special meeting is suspended, but we have a regular board member meeting now, 3 is a quorum, so, yes.
until it starts.
But it hasn't, we haven't started it. So, we're waiting for mayor. So, I'm gonna take a break.
Come back at 7.
Mayor, what time do you want us to come back? 7 o'clock, please. It is 6, almost 6:45, 6:41.
Because 2 is a quorum.
Oh,
Didn't drink enough today?
I seen it when the,
We'll be back.